A feisty atmosphere, to say the least. An experienced Italian referee in Massimo Baravecchio. And 12 rounds now for the vacant European title. Price, you can see, the taller man, taller than most people he fights.
No rabbit punch, watch your head, no low blow, check your hands.
The diminutive referee giving final words of advice. He's also 5 kilos heavier, weighing in just less than 18 stone, David Price. Teper, altogether fleshier sort of figure. Price has 13 wins inside 3 rounds. Teper has just the 6. We're talking back in the studio about Sinan Samil Sam. I commentated on that fight against Danny Williams when he beat the British champion, and Sam had a similar sort of style to Teper. He sort of walks people down and then was heavy-handed when he gets there. Not exactly fleet of foot, Teper, but he can hit.
But that's where a solid jab comes into play. That's where David, who sometimes can be tentative with it, needs to really push it out hard.
There's a right hand, early power shot from Teper, and Price wanted to hold on, and he's caught by another. Fast start by the German. Well, they'll have studied David Price, and they'll know that the jab is absolutely key to him, and now Price is trying to get onto the front foot. And really fast start to this fight.
I think David Price might have just a little cut as well on the corner of the left eye. Just getting a little bit too close. He's trying to hold Teper, but the problem is Teper is short, and he can just dip his legs and then throw the punches over the top. So Price needs to keep it nice and long.
Teper went in again, swinging and looking for those big headshots. And I think the key factor in this fight so much is the mindset of David Price, his confidence. He's a terrific on-top fighter, but against Tony Thompson, we saw what tension can do, and he's clipped again there.
Just turning the shoulder there, away from the right hand, but that'll take a left hand there. Price just allowing Teper to get hit a little bit too close.
Teper's landed some solid right hands in this opening round.
That's a good right hand, yeah, good.
Oh, rocked him back with that second jab. And you can see he's got a physicality about him. He's got bull-like strength, the German.
He's rough, isn't he? Rough and tough. But when he does charge forward like that, that's when Price needs to throw that uppercut. But you've got to be a long right uppercut.
Like that. A lot of blood coming from that damaged left eye. It's going to be work in the corner for Franny Smith and his team. Had a lot of success with that overhand right, Teper, as he throws in, trying to unload once more with the similar shot.
To be fair though to David Price, he's been hit a little bit too easy for my liking, but he hasn't panicked yet, and that's good. That's a mental change for David Price. Not panicking under pressure.
Something dramatic happens in this last 30 seconds, though. It's going to be an opening round for the German, I think.
Just pouring with that jab there, Price. There's a lot that allows Teper just to walk through it, get close and then unload.
Well, that's his style, isn't it? Just walking people down, and Price is allowing him to do it. He's allowing Teper to fight his sort of fight, and he's taking the opening round.
Yes, definitely. But Price has the power in either hand, so if he just steps forward with that left jab, Teper walks onto it, he won't be so gung-ho and coming forward then.
It's up to Erkan. Words of advice for the German favourite. Meanwhile, in the opposite corner, they're working away on that damaged eye. See if we can see how it came. I wonder if that's the one. Yep, it was the punch.
Good jab. Look at that though, the advantage is sometimes of being the shorter guy. Just be able to dip your legs and throw the jab on an upward angle. hard to defend against, and also you can push with your legs, generate some power in that left hand. Just to out-hustle David Price in that wrong, but Price didn't panic. That was a good sign, I think. Still looked nice and relaxed. He was not out of breath, as we've seen him in the past when he's been under pressure. So, no whole hope is gone yet. I just think he needs a solid jab and not always move back in straight lines either. He's just coming back in straight lines, allowing this guy to come forward, just take the spin off on the angle.
I wonder how much of a problem that eye injury is going to be. He's got a lot of grease smeared around the eyelid, as you saw. That's going to help his vision.
That's good from Price though. Threw 2 punches, dip one way, dip the other way, and then span off the ropes. Not become the stationary target for this guy to unload.
Teper trying to show that he's the tough man, that he's the puncher.
Oh, beautiful shot.
Oh dear, 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 dear. Well, it is all going horribly wrong, and I think it's all over. Referee stopped it, Price is out, and it's all gone wrong in the second round. A great shot from Erkan Teper, and David Price, well, where, oh where from here?
And being tall, being a bigger fight with a bigger reach is so much great advantages to have, except you had a bigger target to hit when you stood upright. As David was there, Teper threw the right hand. I don't think he connected with that, but jumped into the left hook from an upward angle, generating all that power. A beautiful left hook, and Price had no chance of getting up.
Sad scenes here in Germany. A very, very happy new European champion, Erkan Teper. David Price, though, badly knocked out. And I wonder where, if anywhere, he goes from here.
It's hard though, isn't it, to be honest, but it really is. He's fine. The main thing is he's up, he's fine. I think it was a good shot. He disconnected. I don't think there was that much weight behind the shot that had him in trouble. I think just the clearness of the shot, he didn't see it, and he disconnected him and put him out for a few seconds. He's just gutted now, isn't he? Where he goes is hard now. He built back up quite well after the 2 Thompson defeats, but now beat by a guy, to be honest, who's strong, but really David Price should have beat him, to be honest. Let's be honest. But we would always fancy David Price to do a number on a guy like this. It's another rebuilding case for him again.
It's anarchic in there, talking to him before the verdicts come, but this is how the end came. Talk us through it, Barry. Right hand and then the left. Out you go.
He threw that right hand up. Again, the advantages of being the smaller fight. I've said it 3 times already in this fight. But he threw the right hand, he missed, but David just turns a little bit to his right and sort of squares himself up for that left hook. And it was a lovely shot. He didn't see it, right on the button, and he's out before he hits the floor. And it's heavyweight boxing, this can happen, but I think with that tentative jab of David, allowing Erkan to come forward, and I think that would Teper to come forward, that's the problem.
The jab was always going to be such a key, wasn't it, for David Price? And whether it was tension or lack of belief when he gets up to this level higher, but he just didn't throw it as we know he can.
I think, obviously he's boxing at that time where the jab was just a fencing weapon, but he likes to tap you with it to set you up for the distance for the right hand, which is not bad, but sometimes you need to throw a solid jab just to keep the guy from walking through you.
Sickening defeat for David Price.
But a great result for this kid. No, he just beat the former Olympic medalist, and he's a European champion. And I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a call from one of the world champions.
Oh, where from here exactly? It's a easy one to make, I guess. I should imagine that if Vladimir Klitschko comes through against our man in the autumn, if he comes through, what date was it? I was trying to clutch the date out of my mind of the Tyson Fury fight, but if he comes through that, then Erkan Teper is a huge fight in Germany.
But I think you probably want to try and nick a fight before October, to be honest. I think, you think Wilder got a fight in September. I don't know if you've got an opponent named.
Anthony Joshua.
Shagayev, who's WBA regular champion. I suppose they would fancy this. There's plenty of options for this kid now. Whatever you think about David Price, he's still a name. He's still a name to beat.
Tell you what, I mean, there are still people out there who question Anthony Joshua. If you did a number on this fella, that would say something.
Yeah, well, Andy Joshua got his own Commonwealth title fight coming up now, but that would be another good fight. Listen, it's funny because one punch can change your career.
Fighters to the center.
Where your career's going. Now this kid, all of a sudden, now got all the world to him, and David Price has only got a few doors left open.
So the fighters drawn together. The European Champions belt will be strapped around the waist of Erkan Teper.
Das offizielle Urteil.
And David Price, I'm afraid to say, faces some very awkward questions now of himself after what has turned out to be a personal disaster of a night, but a great victory for Erkan Teper.
A personal disaster of a night, and that was writ large on Price's face there. A terrible night, a horrible outcome. Point of the chin, left hook out, as Barry Jones correctly said, for 2 or 3 seconds, and then back. Steve, it was the worst nightmare, not just for Pricey, but for his fans.